Hello, I'm Trina Brooks here in the Norristown Area School District, where Dr. James Holton is our superintendent and Dr. Florence Whitney is our assistant superintendent. Here at Eisenhower Middle School, located at Coolidge Boulevards and Markley Streets, we are celebrating our third annual Career Awareness Program. Today's program is entitled From Norristown to the Sky is the Limit. And we want to thank over 35 professionals from the surrounding metropolitan area who have come to volunteer their services by giving mini courses to our students today. We will be speaking to some of those interviewers, our presenters, in just a few moments. Thank you. I'm standing with Mr. William Brogdon, who is a retired fireman. This is Mr. Brogdon's second year here at Eisenhower for our Career Day Awareness Program, and we're happy to have you back.
Thank you.
Great.
I'm happy to be back.
Okay.
This is my second time back, and I'm delighted to be able to speak to the young people about a career in the fire department.
Beautiful. Would you please share with us some of the requirements, the pay scale, the educational requirements that students will need in order to become a fireman today?
Sure. The age is 19 to 35. The salary is $19,900 up to $23,000. You are required to be in good health. The average high school education will prepare you for a job in the fire department. There is a good opportunity for promotions. The pension is good. There are many pluses as you become a fireman or choose to be a fireman as a career.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to share with our students in order to get their minds set in thinking in terms of becoming a fireman?
Well, I do believe that for the most part, some people desire to be many things in life, and ultimately the job comes along, the job opportunity comes, and they decide that, well, yes, this is a good opportunity for me to get a steady job with a good early retirement, good pension, so they choose the fire department. But then again, there are some who have a lifelong ambition to be firemen. And I believe that you must remember that the fire department has many opportunities for promotions. The average fire chief started out as a fireman, so there too you have the opportunity to set your sights high and possibly one day be a fire chief.
Excellent. It's a very challenging profession, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Like I said, there are many opportunities. There are chances to be a medical technician. The fire department has specialists in various areas in fire prevention, fire suppression, as well as also in the area of communications, photography. There are many opportunities there.
Okay, thank you. I'll let you get back with your class, and we thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
We hope you come again next year.
Thank you very much.
Happy to present our next presenter, Mrs. Rose Consalvi, who is a retired teacher of the Norristown Area School District. I'm happy because Mrs. Consalvi was a major influence in my life when I first started in Norristown area 12 years ago. Mrs. Consalvi, maybe you can tell us how education has changed in the last few years and maybe some of the requirements and something for the students to come away with.
I certainly can. With many years of experience that I've had, I can truthfully say that the best thing of all is that you just love teaching. If you love teaching, that's it. I'm very happy that Mrs. Brooks said that I was an influence. Well, I hope so, because walking into this classroom right now was just something really, absolutely, comes from the bottom of my heart, and I felt right at home when I came in here. I really did. Changes? Many. I have some on the board here. Your college requirements, your high school requirements, your college, the salaries that were paid in those days. When I went home with $100 every 2 weeks, I had took home we got paid once a month at that time, so it was $100 every month. I went home with $100. Oh boy, did I think I had a lot of money. But I don't know about that, because nowadays with their salaries, they must range from at least $10,000, $11,000 or so to about 20. No, you're not going to make $90,000 or $150,000 like Mr. Wright says they do in banking. But there is a great reward, absolutely, in seeing the various notes that I have accumulated through the years from parents, grateful notes, and even from students, and cards that come from students too. Absolutely. Even after your retirement, to hear that they are still thinking of you, this is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. And you have a daughter here. At
Yes, I
Eisenhower
do.
Middle School.
Yes,
Who's now teaching.
I felt that with my daughter, Miss Consalvi, being here, it was time for me to really leave the district.
Could you tell them just some of the requirements that are necessary for teaching?
Yes, as I'd started to say here, yes. We have requirements such as 4 years of college for your bachelor's, and then that's where you have the opportunity to go on and on and on and work for all your other credits and get all your other degrees, because the more degrees you have, the more money you have, that's for sure. But money is not important right now. It is, but I mean, in teaching, there's a lot of other things.
Do you miss teaching?
Oh, I do. I miss the students. I really miss the students.
Okay, well, we thank you, and hopefully you'll come back next year and share some more time with us.
Thank you. I'd be very happy to be invited back.
Thank you. This is Claudia Harleen, who is our psychologist in the Norristown Area School District, and we're happy to have you here today. Claudia was nice enough to volunteer her services when she heard through a conversation that we were having the Career Awareness Day, so we're very pleased about that. Could you please tell us some educational background that you would need to become a psychologist, and also the salary scale and perhaps some of the professional outlooks or some of the opportunities that students may have when they enter your profession?
Okay, basically, in order to become a school psychologist or to become a psychologist in the state of Pennsylvania, you have to have at least a master's degree. And one of the things that is very important for students who wish to be psychologists is that they understand that once you finish a 4-year program in psychology, you are not a psychologist. You have to pursue a graduate degree in order to become a psychologist. Okay. At this point, salaries vary. Some are very low, and some range up to like $80,000, depending upon what type of psychologist you become.
What are some of the different types?
Okay, the highest paid psychologist, in my estimation, would be the industrial psychologist. There are clinical psychologists who will be found in mental health centers, in places like the Norristown State Hospital. There are school psychologists who work in school districts. There are social psychologists. There are counseling psychologists who also would be found in mental health centers. There are private practitioners who are clinical or licensed psychologists who work privately.
I see.
So there's a wide range.
There's a lot of opportunities available.
Yes, a lot.
Okay. Would you share with us, maybe you could tell some of the students something that would kind of drive them into the area of psychology?
It's an interesting field. There's a lot of room for growth and development. You can start, as I did, as a school psychologist. You can expand into private practice. As a school psychologist, I had the option of going into clinical psychology. I could work in a mental health center or at a state hospital. There are a variety of things that you can do with a psychology background.
Okay, and exactly what is a psychologist?
A psychologist is a professional who studies human behavior, and we try to do it scientifically.
Okay, thank you very much, and
Thank you.
hopefully you will come again next year also. I'm standing with Dr. David Bressler, who is a pediatric dentist. We're very happy to have you here today. Could you please tell us some of the educational background and perhaps the salary and some of the methods that you use in your practice?
Sure. I'm a pediatric dentist, which means I just work on children. We don't see any adults in the office. And because of that, it's a very special type of place that's set up with a lot of children's toys and video games in the waiting room, and we have special robots that look like tooth fairies that talk to the children. So it's kind of a Disneyland of dental offices. Makes it a
That's
special place.
interesting. Why did you choose to do that?
Well, all through dental school, I looked at all different kinds of patients, old patients, young patients, and I felt that the most rewarding types of patients to work on that I felt were rewarding was the very young children. Try to train them to raise a whole generation of kids that would enjoy going to the dentist differently than I did when I was growing up.
I know most of us are scared of
Exactly. But we're changing that today. We really are. Educationally wise, you're talking about 4 years of college after high school, another 4 years of dental school after the 4 of college, and then for myself, when I specialized in children's dentistry, it was another 2 years. So you're talking about 10 years of school after high school.
Gracious.
It's a long time, but well worth it.
Yes,
but well worth it. Salaries can range for general dentists. You're probably talking a national average of about $70,000 a year. Again, taking into consideration the fact that number talks about people out of school for 2 months and people 75 years old who are not really practicing. So the number is kind of an average figure. It can go up, or down significantly. Specialists, a lot of specialists make double that number. Without too much problem, and only work a 3.5 or 4.5 day week. So there's financial rewards. There should be for 10 years of school after high school.
Right. I was going to ask you about the professional opportunities available.
Well, you kind of make your own opportunities in dentistry. If you go out and open your own office, your potential is really unlimited. The only problem today is that it's so expensive to borrow money. A lot of dentists are getting out of school and going to work for other people. And that kind of limits your salary somewhat, but if you're lucky enough to be able to open up on your own, you can do very well.
Okay. Do you ever have to operate in a hospital?
Yeah, once a month or twice a month, I go down to St. Christopher's Hospital for Children, and we do very young kids under 2 years old with severe decay from health problems or some babies that had been put to bed with bottles of milk or juice, and we go into the operating room and we scrub and we put on the green suits and we do all the work in the operating room when the children are asleep.
What are some key thoughts that you would like to leave with our viewers about dentistry or about precautionary dentistry?
Well, preventive dentistry, that's where it's at today. We're talking about a lot of fluorides. We're doing sealants on teeth that prevent the teeth from becoming decayed. I think the fact that dentistry is a very rewarding field in the healthcare aspect today, because the people that come into the office are having a problem or may be getting ready to have a problem, and we can let them go out of the office in better shape than they came in, and that's a very rewarding aspect.
I'm standing with Dr. Graynell Edwards, principal of the Eisenhower Middle School here in Norristown, Pennsylvania. I know that this is our 3rd annual Career Awareness Day, and it's been one of the best that has hit Norristown in a long time. The students have been extremely enthusiastic. The presenters are overwhelmingly happy with the way everything is being run today. What are your feelings about this day, and what is the importance of Career Day?
Well, first, Trina, I feel real good about it. We got started in our general session very nicely, and I just don't feel that things could not have gone better up to this point. The importance of today, it's an opportunity for us to allow our kids to connect with people in the real world in a variety of professions. Folks are doing a number of things that our kids don't have a chance to see.
Right.
And when we bring them in, talk to the kids, they get a piece of the real world. I'd like to see an extended kind of awareness program developed in our district, because, all of the educators are saying that kids need to see more of the real world.
That's right.
So this is just a piece of what I'd like to see extended greatly, as we move into schools of tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. We had two fantastic speakers here this morning.
Yeah.
Would you please?
Rather unique
Yes.
kinds of speakers in that both of them are individuals who have demonstrated great success, great achievement in their respective fields.
Yes.
In Bob Butera, a gentleman who is an attorney, former legislator, former executive officer of the Flyers, now president of the Jersey Devils, who operate out in the Meadowlands up in that would be New Jersey. Yeah.
Yes.
The other one, James Wright, also known as Billy, who was the first, not the first, but one of two current black presidents in the nation of a large commercial bank.
Mm-hmm.
And the uniqueness about the two presenters is that both of them have come out of the Norristown School District.
That's right.
Yeah, and I forgot the years that they graduated, but the point is that kids had an opportunity to talk with people who sat in those same seats many years ago, so that hopefully they'll begin to realize that there is a chance for them
Yes.
if they're willing to attend to some of the attributes that James Wright talked about: attitude, desire, skill development. You see, they have to understand that those three things are very well connected.
Yes.
And once they begin to internalize those kind of attributes, they can move. No telling how far they'll go.
That's why this program is called From
Absolutely.
Norristown to the Sky is the Limit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm standing with Dr. James Holton, who is our superintendent here in Norristown Area School District. Dr. Holton, could you please reflect upon the day, your feelings about the Career Awareness Day?
I think this kind of an activity is one of the most important things that we do, and I was very excited to see the program, and I think that the people who planned it, Dr. Edwards and Mrs. Luderman and Bonnie Hadrick and all the others are to be commended for such an outstanding day. I really do. And the people who are here to help the youngsters to think about their future careers are top-flight people in their businesses. And I was also very pleased to see Bob Butera come back to Norristown, and I know he loves the school district and loves the schools. And Mr. Wright, who has received some national recognition for his work in the field of banking, come back to speak to the children also. So I think it's an invaluable experience for all of our children and young people. So I'm delighted that we've had this today.
I agree. And this is indicative of the types of programs that we offer here in Norristown Area School District.
Yes, it is. And the high school has a similar program, and some of the other schools do, and I think you're going to see more and more of this as the years go on. And again, I just can't tell you how excited I am about it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice talking.
Nice talking with you also. Okay, we'd like to take this time to thank the many participants who helped make this day an extremely valuable one. Our students learned a lot. Our teachers and our presenters are all just eager to interact with one another so that these students can indeed reach those limits, those endless, limitless limits that are out there. Thank you.